Tomb Raider Secret Lair. The first Tomb Raider game was a landmark in 3D graphics and basement-dwelling art design of the Lara Croft in the early games aside, a landmark series for non-male protagonists. The mythos of Tomb Raider is definitely territory Magic's designers have a lot of experience with on Ixalan, Theros, and beyond, so it's a crossover with a lot of potential. With the Lara Croft card, they have certainly covered a lot of the aspects of her character. That can't be denied. The first strike ability shows her prowess in combat. Reach shows how amazing she is at jumping and climbing. They're the core mechanics of a lot of the games. And obviously her ability to use a bow. On attack, Lara Croft can exile legendary lands and artifacts from graveyards, symbolizing her in-game exploits, and then cast one of them. She also gets the raid mechanic for her second main phase, creating a treasure if she attacked that turn, one of the less valuable trinkets you pick up in the game maybe. The artwork seems very safe. It's a later era Lara Croft casting her eyes across a new discovery, sizing up a climb or assessing potential threats. It sets the fairly neutral standard for the artwork across all of these cards, but more on that later. Heart of the Explorer is the recast version of Search for Azcanta, which, as we know, on the flip side is Azcanta Sunken Ruin. The Tomb Raider version of that is the Lost Valley. The Lost Valley is the third level of the original Tomb Raider game, set in Peru. One might even say its designers took inspiration from the same history as Ixalan's vision design team did. The art brings the level much more into line with Magic's visual style, wisely jettisoning the 16-bit graphics and showing us Lara encountering one of the Lost Valley's iconic dinosaurs. Anger of the Gods is recast here as Storms of Yamatai. Yamatai is the setting for the 2013 mononymous franchise reboot Tomb Raider, as well as the franchise reboot film from 2018. Franchises always change. Yamatai is a kingdom of ancient Japan, ruled over by the matriarch Himiko, whose rebirth ceremony was sabotaged, leaving her soul trapped in a mortal body. Her rage, or anger, is what ushers in the Storms of Yamatai. It's not clear who directed the artist to represent this pretty epic story by showing a fishing boat in a thunderstorm, but I don't think it's the best way of representing this epic storyline. The original artwork of Anger of the Gods does a better job of that. It's interesting to see the team visit Theros for the inspiration for this card. In both mechanics and inspiration, Magic's version of ancient Greece will usually have what you need when it comes to the divine. The Grim Whisper is the new version of Bow of Nylea. Nylea is the Magic version of Diana the Hunter, so reprinting her iconic bow is a solid choice for this unique weapon from Rise of the Tomb Raider. What other Magic card has as many gamer FAQs threads asking if it's worth the grind to unlock? Whilst there is maybe a lineage to be traced from Lara Croft to Diana, it's pretty tenuous, and this feels like a missed opportunity to engage with Lara's bowmanship. I mean, didn't two random orcs with bows break the whole game when they clubbed together to be a chase card for Lord of the Rings? Shadow Spear is recast here as Totek's Spear. It's definitely a valuable reprint, but the Tomb Raider representation feels kinda phoned in. Totek is your eponymous ally in Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, and Shadow Spear is curiously reworked to have the flavor words, a Guardian of the Light. Just word for word the title of the game, and it comes out of the shadows and into the light. The flavor text here isn't the greatest I've ever read. It combines Lara Croft's catchphrase, I make my own luck, with something one can only presume the designers were told to add to reinforce her mechanical identity, perhaps with the help of a powerful artifact or two. Not only does it totally undermine the spirit of the quote, which focuses on her bravery and willingness to push through calculated risks rather than rely on luckily happening upon artifacts, it sounds very unnatural because it foists card game terms into the mouth of an action hero.
So I'm coming day and night.
Kitej, Sunken City. This is a kind of Russian Atlantis from Rise of the Tomb Raider, a city believed to house the Divine Source, an artifact capable of granting immortality. It's sunken because it was believed to be lost underneath Siberia, as depicted in the Snowfield artwork, probably my favourite in the set. I've not been able to see a deeper connection between Kitej and Academy Ruins, beyond the fact that they both probably have some sweet artifacts buried in them. An artifact granting immortality doesn't feel very blue to me, but hey, there are worse flavor crimes. The treasure token is a cause for some positivity. I, for one, love when sets like this give you the on-theme token so that you can get some consistency and order when you try to build around their cards. More like this, please. While there's nothing specifically wrong with any of these cards, it just feels like the crossover was something the designers had to get over and done with, rather than an opportunity to exercise their creativity. Tomb Raider is a storied franchise. Its games go back to 1996 and its films to 2001. The Secret Lair project, as we're often reminded, is about experimenting with art styles and magic cards, something it's proven excellent at on many occasions. Look at the Snow Pixel basic lands for a great example of how the limitations of early digital art can be embraced and brought into the modern age. There was a chance here to represent the changing seasons of the franchise, from the groundbreaking but ugly and polygonal Lara Croft of the early 3D games, through the films and the most recent games. Instead, we get the beige wash of Tomb Raider, leftover Ixalan art, and flavor text worse than the children's descriptions of their drawings on the Extra Life Secret Lair. Many have said the March of Universes Beyond threatens to overthrow Magic's own identity. I don't believe that to be the case, but crossovers like this do neither franchise justice. My lodestar for crossovers hitting grey goo levels of interest is Ryu from Street Fighter running around with a Gatling gun on Fortnite. Zero mechanical connection, just a way to say, oh my god, Ryu is in Fortnite. Secret Lair Tomb Raider certainly does not plumb these depths, but it feels like Lara is on her way. Speaking of grey goo, something that had completely passed me by when I first wrote the script for this video was brought to light by a friend the other day. The use of AI-generated imagery to advertise the Secret Lair drop for Tomb Raider. There's a detailed Reddit post that, to me, proves beyond reasonable doubt that the image is indeed AI-generated, and while the ethics of generating this kind of image is not something I'll be able to cover here, it was striking how well the non-AI images in the cards match the AI background that they've been pasted onto. I don't think that AI images are a threat to human creativity, but they certainly ask a lot of questions about commercial art and the ability of professional artists to make a living. Secret Lairs, like any form of mass media, are a mélange of these two categories, where as much money as possible is extracted from specific forms of creativity. Scarier than the scenario of it being hard to distinguish between AI art and non-AI art is the scenario where AI blends perfectly with the gestural, dispassionate, non-AI generated art, as is the case here. If you've been waiting for a new video for me since the last one, thank you, and sorry it's taken so long. I did have a plan of trying to do these more situational news type videos alongside the story of the card ones, but in December I actually got really ill and this one was shelved for a long time whilst being like 3/4 complete, which is really annoying. But yeah, I always really appreciate anyone that tunes in. It means a lot, and I'm gonna be focusing the time that I do have coming up on finishing off the Lightning Bolt one, trying to just give that the proper focus and video sheen that it deserves. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and talk to you on the next one.